Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Supergirl. This time we're on episode 5 of season 6. Last time we had the what I can safely presume is the kind of resolution to the whole Phantom issue. They cured all the people, including Silas, and later down the line, McGann, who had somewhat transformed, and Jean and Brainy, who had actually kind of succumbed to their grasp right at the very end, motivating Nia and Alex even more to fight to break the chrysalis and to save them. They released all the souls, so all the humans and even aliens converted into phantoms were all saved, and the Prime Phantom was absorbed into the Prototrap by Brainy as well. So yeah, presumably that whole Phantom issue is actually done and dusted, and they can actually use, I mean, they have the Phantom in their actual kind of physical and scientific custody now, so they can actually use it to track down Kara even more accurately and with even less hassle, but they still need the DNA, and they could have used the digitized life force or whatever that was in the recording crystal that Kara used, but then they had to recalibrate that to be a tracker to find the chrysalis, so then that plan went kaput and everything. But it did give us a chance to get some, like science Alex and science Lena in the Watchtower, and a cool little reignition of their friendship together. But then again, yeah, it all went kaput when they turned it into a tracker. And I've seen people responding to that episode saying, like, clearly the writers just seem to never have heard of like a toothbrush or a hairbrush or anything. Like, if they need DNA, then that stuff would just as easily contain DNA. But apparently they need like pinnacle of science fiction style DNA. They need something so obscure and so out of time that it requires the characters to go further and further for whatever reason. So by the end of it, they actually they revealed that they needed something from when, they needed like a sample of DNA from whenever Kara must have blown out her powers or overused them or something. So then that tracked back into what Nia had been experiencing, all these different visions of young Kara and Alex at Midvale, and then it seems that that's actually like an event in Kara's life where she actually blew out her powers and presumably left behind some DNA. So stuff's going down, and now they've established that time travel is needed to actually acquire Kara's DNA. So now, I don't know who's going back. I mean, I've heard it might not be the whole team. So I don't know who. I think, because that much makes sense. Like they might actually send like a small team there, and then like half of them might go, and then half of them might actually stay back to hold down the fort in the present day. So I don't know who they might send. I mean, sending Alex back would kind of make sense because it is her sister. She would have more accurate knowledge of the actual event and of the timeline and everything. But then, given it's Alex, she is still kind of, I mean, she's maintaining hope, but she's also very, very kind of, I feel like like Jean at least might see her as somewhat emotionally kind of compromised, and that she might not really make it back in time, or that she might not make it back at all, or something might go wrong. So I don't know who they might send. Maybe Lena. Maybe they'll send Lena back, or maybe Brainy. I can definitely see Brainy going back, because I think he's like a 12th level intellect, so his science knowledge is out of this world, so he might be going back. And then maybe Nia, because she's the one who actually keeps having the dream, so she would know where to go and maybe what to look for, but she still can't really decipher the dreams too much. So either way, I think those two are kind of really in the clip. If they then need a third party, then it might be either Lena or Alex, maybe. So yeah, I can definitely see that much happening. But I guess we'll see. In the actual episode. But we had that stuff going down on Earth, and then we had back in the Phantom Zone, Nixley turned evil. Nixley did not turn out to be so good after all. She even shapeshifted into one of the kidnappers to try and trick and hurt Kara's father, and revealed her agenda all along. She was actually going to head back to the fifth dimension and take down anyone who didn't actually stand with her when her father banished her to begin with. So, she even made the sneaky little threat of actually going through Earth first and having a little bit of fun there before she returned to the fifth dimension with regained powers and everything. So she turned out to be not so nice after all. She turned out to kind of flip the switch on Kara and stuff. So then Kara destroyed the mirror. She destroyed the mirror. Like the first mirror was broken anyway, but then the backup mirror actually showed her a clear path back. But then she figured, she can't risk going through and actually having Nixley follow her through as well. And she definitely didn't want to have to leave her dad behind. But then the entire place blew up anyway. The entire place had literally blew up from a kind of misguided self-destruct activation. So I think they didn't explicitly show it, but I'm pretty sure it killed both Nixley and her father. So now it's just Kara and stuff. So I guess again, I think that kind of you know, saves her. I mean, even without the whole kind of Nixley villain plot twist, it kind of saves her from having to choose one or the other should that kind of a plot twist come through as well. Like, oh, you can only take one other person with you, or it's only like 2 at a time or something. And stuff, because I think like 2 phantoms can go through, but then I think that mirror was actually built by her mother. I think that was the whole point behind it. Like she built one, but then she also built like a second one as a backup. So I don't know if those same rules would apply, but either way, the plot twist kind of like, you know, activated Kara's kind of, you know, like unwillingness to risk any kind of damage to Earth in the name of her own kind of return home. So she destroyed the mirror, and then the self-destruct got activated, and then the entire place blew to smithereens, and that was the end. That was literally the end. So I mean, again, safely presuming her father is gone in that explosion too. So I guess we'll see where that goes. But now I think I feel like the majority of this story should be focused on getting that DNA back, and then using that to help the Phantom actually track Kara more accurately in the Phantoms. And I think it's going to be a flashback episode, so it should offer some fun times in that aspect too. We haven't had a flashback episode in so long. I think the biggest flashback episode I can actually remember is definitely that whole Midvale thing that showed how rocky Kara and like how rocky the beginning of Kara and Alex's kind of relationship was as sisters and as adoptive sisters, and the whole Kenny thing, like she lost Kenny, and we did see another kid with her who was Asian, so I don't know if that's like I mean, I think it has to be, I don't know how far back they're going, because I think what we saw of Kenny too, like we didn't really see, I don't know if we actually saw his entire friendship with Kara. I don't know if we actually saw all of it, or if it was just enough for us to be invested in him and then to watch him being killed off too. So I don't know if this is actually going even further back to when, because I think from what I remember, that guy was wearing like a sports jersey too, so Kenny definitely was not on the sports team. He was picked on by the sports team, but he definitely was not with them. So this could be another guy who goes to their school too, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. But again, like another flashback episode, the actresses who play them are just top notch, so I cannot wait to see what they have in store for us this time, and what other surprises they have in terms of it being a flashback episode too, like what other content we get from Kara and Alex's past, and how, I mean, if like whoever goes back, they're likely gonna have to actually interact with Kara and Alex too. I think I highly doubt they're gonna go the whole Back to the Future routine with this and actually be like, oh, avoid any interaction, don't step on any butterflies or order any sports almanacs and everything. So it should be fun. But that is pretty much all I can pick up from the last one. So on to episode 5 of Supergirl season 6. Onto the reaction. And speaking of the reaction, this one is just going to be the highlights, just the best bits of the episode. But if you guys want to catch the full length version, that one will be over on Patreon, so you can go check that out over there. But yeah, on to Supergirl season 6 episode 5. Let's go.
Kara and her boyfriend Kenny appointed themselves the
Kenny? Wasn't that the name of the kid? Kenny Lee? Wasn't that the kid that died? Kenny Lee? Wasn't that him?
I thought Kenny Lee was killed when you were...
Yeah.
In this world, Kenny never got killed.
We get Kenny back. Oh, he's still alive in this one. Okay, post-crisis, he's still alive. Okay. Yeah, they're gonna Back to Future this. They're gonna Back to the Future this.
But you're going to my past.
Okay.
Don't mess it up.
Yeah, don't you do anything to change her life. No. Don't you mess with Alex's life. It is perfect the way it is. It is. Well, you just have to like stick around, wait for the meteor thing to happen, and then you collect the DNA and pop back into the present. Just literally follow your own advice. Do not interact with anyone. Don't introduce yourselves. Don't be seen. Oh, specs. Glasses. Oh, damn. They look good with glasses. They look great with glasses.
Crime, Midvale is quickly becoming
that is a great jacket. That is a great jacket.
I drove 3 hours from Metropolis to do a story on this rube-filled wasteland. I need coffee, stat. TikTok.
Yes, ma'am.
Who's this?
Alex was right, it's freezing.
A journalist? I don't know. She said she was writing a story, maybe a journalist.
We have 24 hours. All we have to worry about is not being seen.
Oh my gosh.
About that. Oh shit. This is the... You had one job. You guys had one job. One job. What's up? Oh, 2 jobs. You told me not to do the what's up. No. Why? Yeah, why would you bring that back or bring it in?
Your ship's broken?
No.
But Alex just isn't buying any of this. Yeah, Alex isn't buying any of this.
Brandon.
Brandon.
And Brenda.
Brenda.
We are Brandon and Brenda.
Brandon and Brenda.
I am an alien, like you, from the planet Krypton.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Yeah, teamwork. Teamwork. Okay, great. Oh, she can separate the Earth like Moses. That would make for a great time capsule. That would make for a really good, really smart time capsule. Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Come on.
Here you go, bro. Thank you.
Oh, damn. Okay. So they're befriending their friends in the past. Yeah.
My zoo needs a new attraction.
Oh, they're collectors. They're alien collectors.
Kryptonians on the same planet isn't a sign that I should kill them.
Then I don't know what is.
So they wanna take Kara as a collection for their zoo. Great.
So will you be eating all of this?
Oh yeah, he's stressed. Yeah, even his dinner. Okay, Brainy, come on, have some respect. That's his dinner. Okay, you had a whole bag of chips to yourself.
Sometimes I think that if I could just call her and hear her voice.
Oh, she can. She's back in 2009.
And keep going.
Yeah, so her mom's still alive now. Oh, but that's
So,
Back to the
what can
Future
your
thing.
powers do?
That would be Back to
I
the
mean-
Futuring. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Oh, that's so cool. It's a combination of their powers.
I promise we'll be gone as soon as we can.
Thank you.
Great.
Get some sleep.
Is Alex gonna remember any of this? Are the timelines in sync and stuff? Are they gonna remember any of this? Are they gonna go back and Alex is gonna be like, oh yeah, I remember that time you and Brainy posed as Brandon and Brenda. Whoa. Is that a... I don't know what that was. Something purple. So probably alien. Yeah.
There's nothing women like more than physics well applied. That and a modicum of emotional vulnerability. When I'm with Kara, I feel like I could do anything.
Oh, Brainy.
Your positivity is catching.
Perry, I don't have anything to send yet because I've been here less than
Perry?
24 hours.
Perry. Journalist Perry. Perry White from Metropolis.
Outside the purview of my gossip column, but as discussed, I want to do real.
Is this
news.
who I think it is?
Based on my research, I believe
But
there is
I can't.
so-called mirror
Is this Cat Grant?
I'm going to find this do a story on them that will blow Lois Lane into the classified
Oh yeah, this has
section.
to be Cat Grant. This
Now,
has got
if
to
you'll
be Cat
excuse me,
Grant.
I
Oh
have
my
an interview.
god, a young Cat Grant. They brought Cat Grant back to
As soon
us.
as I find someone to talk to.
Suggest that nothing in Midvale is worth finding. Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely, yeah. Make sure I get that. Absolutely nothing. Come on. Just a little bit more.
Time I try to use these things.
Yeah.
You are the tenor our Glee Club needs.
Glee Club?
With me. Now,
A
unless
Glee-
there is another class that I can escort.
You're gonna put him in the Glee Club? Rare Earth Geodes. This is where the dysprosium is gonna be. Damn, these look cool. I love these kinds of rocks. Or geodes, I suppose. Yeah, that looks so cool on the inside. Yeah, all shiny and glittery. Yeah, really cool patterns sometimes. That looks so cool. Oh, that looks so cool. It looks kind of spiky though.
Kenny!
Brandon, oh, he's in baseball. This isn't Glee Club. This is baseball club.
But now, thanks to your school, I see a cornucopia of approaches.
Oh boy.
Spectre, drama clubbers soliloquize, and baseballers hit.
He's good with the baseball. You gotta give him that, yeah.
Because if Alex finds out, she's going to flip.
Yeah.
True.
You're scared enough of Alex in the present day.
But how do I exit?
Don't need to face past
I'm a
Alex's
vessel
wrath
of
too.
Coach Kripke.
Who does drive like that? Oh, it's an empty lorry. It was meant to hit them. Was it meant to hit them, or was it just like a lost lorry? I can't tell. With those aliens coming from the zoo, I can't. Yep, the aliens are doing it, yeah.
We have a Kryptonian and a Neltorian.
And they've identified Nia too. Great. They're gonna put her in one of their cages too.
Guys, time to go. That reporter's right behind me.
Oh, Cat Grant, yeah, she does that. She'll be like that. Yeah. Oh yeah, literally right behind them. Mom, Mia. Damn, she's Nia and she knows a Mia. Just both parts of the alphabet.
Hi, you've reached Isabel now. You're saying you've had to sacrifice for me?
We all have. Mom sacrificed her career for you. Dad sacrificed his life. You want to know why I skipped out on going to Europe this year? The one thing I wanted, just for me, because Mom was worried about you. And as always, here I am.
That's why we lose track of him. He takes off to South America.
Captured is still at large. Oh,
No.
oh god damn it! You've changed things.
Our actions in this past.
Yeah, he never wanted you to begin with, but now he's detected you.
Changed the space-time continuum.
You back to the future. You back to the freaking future. You changed the timeline. Yeah, sports almanac, here we come.
Better get rid of that smudge on your lens. Don't want to miss your next scoop.
There's a smudge.
Not a smudge.
It's a shadow. A shadow of a ship. The shadow of a spaceship. Oh boy, yeah.
I know you've been stressed, and I thought you could use a pick-me-up.
Oh damn.
Our new heroing base.
Oh damn, that's cool. Very cozy. Very cozy. Yeah, you need to tell him, Kara. You need to tell him.
How did you cope?
I would sing my favorite song. It's corny, but it made me feel like I could do...
Corny like nursery rhyme corny or like Disney corny? Because Disney corny is more tolerable.
The traffic starts jumping with folks like me on the job from 9 to 5.
She has a pretty good voice. She has a pretty good voice. Oh, she's helping him cope.
Jackson Port's location has been found.
God damn you, she's just getting to the good part.
Maxim ship.
So, what did you want to talk about?
You need to tell him, Kara. Yeah, you need to tell him. Tell him the truth. Don't keep stringing him along if you know that this isn't in your future.
What's going to happen next?
Mitch and Naxi. No. You're putting a part 2 on me. You're putting a part 1 and a part 2 on me. Seriously? Oh my god. They really pulled a part 1 and a part 2 on me. That is just uncalled for. That is deeply, severely uncalled for. So yeah, that episode was really fun. That episode was really, really fun. I cannot believe they pulled a 2-part on us, but I think, you know, prom night is when the actual thing actually, like, prom night is when the asteroid that they need the DNA from actually strikes. So, well, not the DNA from, but the asteroid that Kara then collides with and creates the DNA from. So I think that's when it actually strikes. I think it must have been a key to kind of expect that when it said, "Oh, prom tomorrow night." So, yeah, and I think it kind of also makes for like a little kind of final season adventure too, like a 2-parter that kind of allows us to explore Kara and Alex's history in somewhat kind of extra detail and somewhat further detail that we haven't really seen much of before. And this is also. It's also in their future, so they've graduated high school, now they've gone off to college and everything, so that's fun. And yeah, Kenny Lee is alive, so the guy isn't just like another Asian kind of high school or college classmate that Kara has. It's literally Kenny Lee, it's literally that same character. So I think they recasted the character, they definitely recasted the character. I don't know why they did that, but then I think, you know, maybe just giving like another actor a chance, or maybe just like maybe the original actor didn't want to come back, or whatever, but either way they recasted him and it's still the same character, Kenny Lee. So I think, yeah, so Alex even I think Alex in the present day even actually notified that too, so I think I'm hoping that means in the present day he's also still alive and well and doing whatever he's doing, but clearly his relationship with Kara didn't really last, and hopefully it was like a mutual separation and they're all still good friends and on good terms and everything, so that's the hope. But Yeah, no, he's still alive. So post-crisis, new world, new rules, and new timeline and everything. So I don't know if that means that the kind of drug ring thing with the police sheriff still happened, or if he just didn't get caught up in it, or if he survived it despite getting caught up in it, or what happened. But either way, it didn't go down the way it did originally. So we get Kenny back. That alone is a great piece of rewriting. And he seems fun in this too, and I think you know, like even after that episode, like those two, like Kenny and Kara, did seem to have like a good enough friendship, and even by the end of it, like Kara does say that she wishes she had the strength to actually come out to him and to actually be honest with him, and even like, you know, she even saw him towards the end anyway as like potentially as more than a friend, and that she actually wished to solidify their friendship even more with that level of trust and honesty and everything. So now, seeing now that they're in college, they're actually in a relationship together and everything, that's really fun. So yeah, and he knows that she is Supergirl. I think even before then he did have an idea. He did know, but then he respected her enough with her secret to let her kind of reveal the truth to him in her own time, in her own way, instead of actually questioning her and putting her on the spot, which again is just amazing of him. So he knew. I think it could have gone the same way in this too. Like he could have actually known. And then as a thank you maybe for trusting him and actually, like, you know, like trusting him enough to tell him the truth, he might have actually given that picture to her to frame or something. So that's cool. But so he knows, and they both are their own little kind of teenage-ish kind of vigilante little duo, like going around saving cats out of trees and kids out of walls and doing basic kind of heroism without ever giving up their identities or their actual kind of exposing themselves in any way. So they are doing something, and you know, Kenny being Kenny, he fully supports her. He thinks that it's awesome that she has powers and that she's an alien and all this kind of stuff. So he fully supports her, and also kind of, you know, indulges in the whole vigilantism thing she's all going on. Which I think at their age they're very unprepared. But I think at the same time it's good, because then they're only doing basic stuff and they're not like actively going into other kind of, you know, criminal rings and trying to dismantle, you know, whatever, and getting into the middle of police investigations. It's literally the basic stuff: saving cats out of a tree, saving people, but still in very minimalist ways that are suitable for their age and lack of experience. So it's cool. Alex and Kenny have their own kind of secrets. Kenny revealed his one. He actually told Brainy that, you know, he had actually built a kind of makeshift superhero lair for him and Kara to work out of, and it looks a lot cozier than you would expect a superhero lair to be. I think, you know, like in the modern day, you have all this kind of giant funding that can give you supercomputers and multi-monitor desk setups and underground layers and elevators and everything. But with this one, it kind of speaks volumes as to how old they are and how much how much experience they're lacking, and also their kind of maturity. That it genuinely looks more like an actual secret place for them to be together, and for them to kind of be away from everyone else and to just spend some time. Like, it looks less like an actual superhero lair and more like a place like the pretty lights and even the memories, like the tree stump with their name carved into it, and the other pictures and the lights and everything, and you know, the blankets. I think I saw them. Like, it genuinely looks like a place to get cozy, maybe even after a day of hard work and saving people and saving cats and everything. So again, it speaks volumes as to how young they really are and how kind of idealistic they are at the same time. So it's really cute. And yeah, I think you know, Alex even pointed out that Kara has actually been accepted into, you know, like Kara actually got her dream exception. Her dream exception wasn't Midvale University, but it was actually like somewhere else outside of Midvale, likely. But then Midvale was where she wanted to stay with in agreement with Kenny. It was where they both agreed to go after school, and it's where they both kind of, you know, promised to kind of be with each other. And I think yeah, again, like that kind of young love, again, it doesn't really last too long. And again, that's the kind of thing that, I mean, hopefully it does end on like a mutual separation thing, and like they both decide that they want to see things for themselves and go their separate ways and everything. And even Alex in this, I think one of the things that this episode definitely nailed about the whole kind of flashback episode in the way that Supergirl does it between Alex and Kara is that Alex is still, even going to college, even trying to go her own way, she still has kind of, you know, she still has the whole kind of protectiveness and loyalty and kind of like guardianhood over Kara still kind of hanging over her. Like she can't go to Europe and do what she wants to do and be who she wants to be, because she has to come back home at the end of the day and actually make sure Kara's okay, like that whole kind of thing. I think again it comes back because I think they're so young, so it's easy to kind of use that in spite and use that in arguments to kind of one up the other person. It's easy. It kind of feels emotionally easy at times for her to say like, I can't be who I want to be because I got to constantly keep making sacrifices for you. But then once they mature, once you move into the future, then you start to see, not to say they haven't had their arguments in the future, but still you still see in the future it then develops and matures into like an actual sense of sisterhood and love and loyalty and something more positive and something and something that actually allows them and helps them to stick by each other through. So, but when they're this young, it's like they want to get out in the world, they want to explore, they want to do things and be people and meet people and everything. And even Alex, she could have the opportunity to explore herself in more ways than one too. So there's so much she wants to do. But again, it's like her past, like especially when she looks back into it, her past has been kind of undeniably plagued, and I think it's been plagued, but I think she kind of accepts it because she knows that in the future it really does get better. She does get to be who she wants to be. She does get to be who she is with the people she wants to be. And it's not all just about protecting Kara, but it's also about keeping her safe and also keeping herself safe and all that kind of stuff. So seeing how it parallels, and again the actresses are so great. They really nail that kind of parallel too. Like obviously like the older, more present day Kara and Alex actually have that, again, that they have that sense of maturity and level headedness to them. But then the young ones, again, when you're that young, you do have like a sense and like an ambition and a kind of sense of freedom that you want to aspire for. And like a more of like a sense of exploration. So it's interesting to see, and I think in this one it kind of like they bring it right back full swing. And in this one again, because they're older, because they're going to college, and because they actually want to be those people and get out in the world. Like Alex is even more antagonized and annoyed by the fact that she's still being held back by her mother's kind of insistence that she has to stay back and protect Kara, and she feels like she's losing out on stuff. So see, and then Kara is just kind of, and then Kara is just being told that, it's because of you that the rest of us can't do what we want to do with our lives. Like we have to stick around protecting you and making sure that you don't unleash your laser eyes or fly overhead of someone and expose your species and everything. So it's a whole thing. But they maintained that for this, and I think like for accuracy's sake of their past, it definitely fits in well. And I think I think it's also a nice change of pace to see that like Alex is still kind of helping them do what they need to do and get what they need to get done. Like she's still that kind of like mature kind of leader in this sense. Like she's doing what needs to be done so long as they can actually get the situation resolved quickly and they can actually move past. Because this is as far as they've ever gone. Like this is the first alien encounter they've had in like a good long while. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, then we had Brainy and Nia. Or should I say, Brandon? I think it was Brandon, right? Or was it Brendan? No, I think it was, Brandon and Brenda. Brandon and Brenda. Those were the two best names these future geniuses could come up with. Brandon and Brenda. I mean, hey, they looked amazing. Brainy in that tux, Nia in that amazing dress. Just they looked amazing, but still, Brandon and Brenda, like, in terms of improv, I guess it's not the worst that could come out of it, but they do definitely sound like a middle-aged couple here to hand out cookies. That's exactly the vibe I get. Oh, Brandon and Brenda, they baked way too many cookies, and now they're here to sell them to the local college kids and everything. So yeah, but no, and the glasses were a great touch. The glasses were a magnificent touch. Yeah, just chef's kiss. But yeah, Brandon and Brenda. So I think for whatever reason, I think they crashed their ship like a little box thing, that like a cube thing they put in the systems matrix or whatever. It got damaged and they needed to dysprosium. So they actively needed stuff that the college just conveniently had on hand. They had like a makeshift 3D printer building the box, and then they had the kind of the dysprosium rock stuff from the rare earth minerals geode thing. Those rocks, I love those kinds of rocks. They look so cool, like especially when you slice them open and you see the insides and it's all sparkly and shiny. Sometimes they have like cool patterns, like they can either be really spiky like little diamonds, or they can like look like really crystallized, and they look so cool. They're so colorful, so glittery and so shiny, and just it looks amazing. But yeah, I love those, and apparently one of those was this dysprosium. I have to hold myself back from calling it dysphoria. I don't know why. It's dysprosium. So conveniently, the Midvale College science lab place thing had it on hand. So Alex just had to steal her mother's badge and then get them in and out and shake it all about and everything. So that was fun. And yeah, Brandon, Brainy, and Nia. So they got along. I think yeah, they Back to the Future the crap out of this. They Back to the Future the crap out of this. Like the two people they had to avoid interacting with in any shape or form. They ended up talking to. Brainy hung out with Kenny in his bedroom, and then Nia had a sleepover with Kara. Had her first sleepover with Kara and Alex, and. Well, with Kara, I think I don't know if Alex actually slept in that room too, but either way, first thing, and I think I love how well Kara and Nia got along. I love how well they got along, like that. Both of them actually demonstrating their powers with her with her little bubbles, and then Kara with her flight, and she actually put her into the bubble. I thought because she initially kind of just melded into it in the beginning, I thought it was just gonna turn into like a giant. Magical dream-powered beanbag, but then she actually went into the bubble and she was floating inside it. So, like, just the combination of their powers, just seeing how albeit the fact that they did tell them, like, a cover story that they were from a fleeing planet and their people died and all that kind of jazz, albeit the cover story being in place, they did all get along great. And again, Kara and Nia have such a great and awesome and wholesome and sweet and cute friendship in the present day, in the future. So it's just great to see that it's great to see that it's so natural that it can actually blossom just as much in the past. Like Kara, I think it definitely helps that Kara is that kind of person too. She's really open, she's really wholesome, she's really approachable, she's really friendly. So she kind of, and I think especially I think again I feel like even if that Kara knew the truth about Nia, like. Maybe not even her being from the future, but just her being like a half human, half alien, and her being from Noltor and stuff. Like, even if she knew that stuff, then she would love her just as much, and she would actually be open to that kind of friendship. But then, regardless of that, I think like besides from the cover story, Nia was fairly open with her and showed her powers and stuff like that. I mean, again, they don't know them as Brainy and Nia, and I think that makes you wonder, like, how much would that change the timeline going back forward? Like, would it actually? Would we go back to an Alex that actually remembers having met like Brainy and Nia pretending to be Brandon and Brenda in the past, like just looking suspiciously like Brainy and Nia? Like, would the timelines remain in sync and actually retain that information, or what would happen? Because I think assuming, like, I mean, again, I don't know how the time travel works on this show compared to The Flash, even though it's all the same continuity, but still, like, I think. Would their memories be rewritten as time goes on? Would it, like, how would it affect them? I don't know. But it was cool to see nonetheless. And again, yeah, just friendship between between Kara and Nia was really, really fun to see. And yeah, again, it just speaks volumes as to how close they are in, like, even in the present day. Like, just how easily they can actually talk to each other and how easily they can get along. But again, Kara and Nia, both wholesome people, both friendly people, so it works out. And we got some wholesome Brainy and Nia content too. Them two on the ship after they put the box back in. Them two, and like Brainy. He, in an attempt to conceal his true identity and to maintain his undercover story, he joined the Glee Club, he joined the Math League, he joined something else, and then finally he joined the baseball team as well. And he was great with the bat. He was, I mean, him being a total one player, he can calculate physics to the highest and most accurate possible point. So he could easily get home runs with every hit. He would know exactly how to hit it, how hard to hit it, and where to hit it to get a home run. So Brainy would be the ultimate kind of sport. I feel like he'd be the ultimate sports player, a sports player of any kind. So yeah, so then he joined that. So then, for him, like especially him identifying that being in high school kind of brought out all these different kind of cliques and groups and stuff, and all these coping mechanisms that people use to either avoid or just to cope with stress. And then him apparently working out is a coping mechanism for him too. Like, he just starts like talking about ragged rugs and cloaks, and then he just starts doing push-ups on the floor and everything. So he just doesn't know how he genuinely doesn't know how to cope with stress. And the not most effective, but the most common and not. I think probably not just the most common, but also maybe the most comfortable kind of mechanism he's found is literally eating his feelings away. Like, he loves food. So that definitely helps him. But then he joined all these other things, and he even asked Nia how she coped in high school. Won't lie, I was half expecting her to say therapy. I was half expecting her to say counseling or therapy, but no, she actually did have a thing. She had the cutest thing. She had a song, and she even said corny. I was half expecting it to be like, wait, did you like remix like a nursery rhyme, or is it like a Disney song? Like, I'm hoping you were like a Disney fanatic growing up, so. I was half expecting her to sing. Like, I mean, maybe not like. I mean, 2009. No, that would be years before Let It Go. So I mean, it could be anyone. It could be anyone. It could be like, I Can Show You the World from Aladdin. It could be something else. It could be Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Any Disney song. Like, again, I was half expecting her to bust out a Disney song or a remix nursery rhyme, but no, it was just an original. It was original. It was a Nia Knoll original. Mixtape coming soon. Mixtape coming fall 2021. But. Yeah, long after season 6 of Supergirl has ended, she just drops her mixtape and it hits straight to number 1. But no, she just bust out her own little original song, and she has a great voice. Nicole Maines has a great voice for it too, and by extension, Nia Knoll. So the song hit great, and even just that scene of her singing to Brainy, to calm him down, to help him ease up, and he even liked it. He liked the song. He liked Nia's voice. He actually helped him smile and ease up and calm down and stuff like that. So that scene was really wholesome. That scene was super duper wholesome. So yeah, that was really fun. And the surprise character, I never would have expected them to use in this way. I said I wanted her back. I did not think that they would bring her back like this. I did not. I think honestly, again, based on the appearance is textbook. But I'm honestly just almost ashamed that I did not register it sooner. They gave us young Cat Grant. They gave us she was a journalist. Like she was already like an employed and registered and licensed journalist herself. So she had already probably made it into the mid to high leagues and stuff at the Daily Planet and everything. So young Cat Grant. They gave us young Cat Grant, and again. The casting is flawless. The casting is beyond flawless. Like again, like young Alex and Kara, the actors for them, spot on. The actor for young Cat Grant, also spot on. Easy Callista Flockhart vibes, even from her acting too. She's actually like a really really Cat Grant. Like she gives off those vibes. I mean, again, I'm almost ashamed that I didn't clock it sooner. But yeah, young Cat Grant. We got a young Cat Grant, and that, again, it's a twist I never would have seen coming. Oh, sure, you want Cat Grant? We'll give you Cat Grant from, 2009. We'll have Brainy and Nia travel back to 2009, and in that same timeline, we'll have Cat Grant coming from Metropolis to Midvale and stuff, and she was there. I mean, her investigating stories of legend and miracles and luck that she believes is BS is pretty on point for Cat Grant too. She pretty incessantly and heavily investigated and reported on Supergirl back in season 1. And in the end, she did support her. In the end, she did support her heroism and her work and her values and everything. So yes, I mean, but she's just that kind of reporter. Like if other people are kind of reporting, are speaking of tales of legend and hero and like superheroes and stuff like that, she's like, what? It's not luck. It's got to be something more to it. It's got to be something more alien, something extraordinary here, worth reporting. And damn it, she'll be the one reporting it. So. Yeah, young Cat Grant, and she did very very briefly meet Alex as Eliza as Professor Danvers. I think it might have been Professor Danvers. Yeah, so she did like briefly meet them and briefly saw Kara and Nia too. And she was reporting on that whole thing going on. So yeah, I think this not only with the prom night stuff, but with these characters, I feel like a part 2 could definitely be could definitely be kind of beneficial to seeing more of this story, and especially with this being the final season, them giving us a flashback episode that also takes place across a 2-parter is also very very well made and very well written and very well displayed and everything. So it actually gives us more to work out. And I think, especially with it being prom night, that would be an opportunity for them to kind of go forth to highlight to more kind of teenage kind of cultures of high school / college and everything. So that's pretty great too. And yeah, Kat has also and I think just again, if you need proof of how determined and how opportunistic she is to catch a story and to deliver a story, she literally tailed Alex to the actual crash site, to where the blast site was and to where everything was, and she was literally right behind them. So you know, she's very, very driven and very, very kind of, you know, determined and everything, and she even found out the shadow of the spaceship on the ground. So I mean, I'm kind of surprised that she didn't. I'm kind of surprised at how non-surprised she was. Like, I'm kind of surprised at how non-surprised she was because of how because she didn't look shocked as she was saying, "Oh, that's not a smudge on the lens. That's the shadow of the spaceship." So I mean, she looked kind of. Again, she didn't look surprised. She looked like, oh, this is an opportunity for a great story, and I'm gonna be the one who writes it. So like, she didn't seem surprised at the fact that, you know, like, alien spaceships existed. But I think that is also like more due to the fact that they do very much live in a world where Superman is in Metropolis and he's an alien and he stops other alien threats. So aliens are pretty much like a known phenomenon, pretty much to anyone within like a 10-20 mile radius of Metropolis itself. So really not that kind of far-fetched, but then her more driven, and the more driven side of her comes in when she finds out, oh, that's a spaceship, and that means there's a story juicier than cats out of a tree and kids out of wells on a near daily basis. So that's the story she's going to chase, and she paid the kid $20 for his drone, so she's going to use the drone to try and find the spaceship and everything. So I do eagerly look forward to seeing how Cat Grant's story in this one ends. But I think I'm hoping, you know what, I'm hoping this does not prevent. I'm wondering if Nia actually knew that was Cat Grant too. I think because she did say CJ Grant, so I'm wondering if Nia did actually register. Oh yeah, that's Cat Grant from the past. That's young Cat Grant, like her, well, not her future employer, but you know, the one who she found, you know. Founded. The one who, I mean, the future tense of founded is found, isn't it? Or finds. Yeah, she finds. Does that make sense? I don't know. She opens up. She creates Catco. She creates Catco Worldwide Media, where Nia soon then goes to work. So I feel like, you know, I mean, yeah. So I mean, in her head, she's like, oh yeah, better not do anything to piss off, you know, the woman who opens up the place where I am employed in the future. Wouldn't want to screw that up in the timeline. But I'm wondering if she actually does kind of internally be like, oh wait, that's young Cat Grant. Wow, she's so driven and, you know, determined and amazing and all that kind of jazz. But I do sincerely look forward to seeing how her story continues in part 2. And again, yeah, like I was saying, I'm hoping this does not mean that the writers get like just, you know, prevent or hold back on bringing back present day. Like, younger Cat Grant is great. What would be even greater is present day Cat Grant coming in for the final season. Like, you know, like a flashback Cat Grant in a flashback is great, sure, but you know, it doesn't mean you have to. If you can and if you want to and if you can find the right way to do it, then absolutely bring, you know, present day Cat Grant in, but bring Callista Flockhart back. But if it doesn't work out, then I guess it doesn't work out. But either way, again, this was a surprise on the Cat Grant character I never would have seen coming, and I love it to bits. So again, just sincerely, just kind of eagerly awaiting the kind of the hijinks and shenanigans and stuff and highlights to go down in part 2. So young Cat Grant, we got young Cat Grant. And yeah, then we also had alien zoo collectors, two guys, Mitch and I can't even remember, I think Naxim Talk, was that his name? I think it might have been Naxim Talk. Mitch, and one of them was called Mitch, an alien called Mitch. I mean, again, I can't really, I mean, Kara is a fairly mixed, like a fairly human name, and it's also apparently a Kryptonian name like Kara Zor-El, but still, Mitch, really, Mitch. I don't know why, just like an alien being called Mitch of all the human alien like you know, crossovers and names you can have. Mitch, like Mitch is undeniably human. I mean, again, I don't know. Again, it could just be like human culture talking and human naming culture talking. But again, I think I can't help but just think of how like Mitch for an alien. I don't know. Again, yeah. Apparently it's Mitch and Naxim talk. So they both ran a spaceship. I doubt that the spaceship itself was a zoo, but the spaceship was like, like how, some poachers run in like trucks and lorries and stuff, and they capture animals and keep them in cages. I think the cages could have actually been there to keep the animals, but then they transport them back to wherever they came from, and they actually unleash the planets on. Maybe it's like a whole planet that's a zoo, or like a city on a planet that's a zoo. So they actually then have to fly back to their planet and then deliver the captured aliens back. So it's an actual alien zoo. It's an actual alien zoo, and in Nia's dream, she actually saw the purple cougar, not a tiger or a lion, a purple cougar just jumping out of a cage and jumping on her. So she figured that out, and then so they run a thing, and I think they tried with Superman. They already tried with Kal-El. They already tried with Superman, but it didn't work, and they found out that then there was like another Kryptonian, which again was not an anomaly, They actually found out that Kara was also there. So there's like 2 Kryptonians, and then that kind of gave the Naxim talk guy like the incentive to catch at least one, of them. And then they detected Nia, a Nortorian, and then they detected Brainy flying in, and he's a Coluan. They just detected more and more aliens to add to the collection, and then in the end of part 1, they managed to bag both the Coluan and the Nortorian. So it's going great. It's going absolutely great. So yeah, I think it kind of makes you wonder though, like this doesn't seem like too much of an anomaly. So it makes you wonder, like did the same thing happen with Kara back here too? Because I can't help but wonder if maybe this is something that Alex should have warned them about. Because I'm wondering if there was anything that Alex could have or should have warned them about. Like, I mean, the one thing she did say, which was completely understandable and completely agreeable, was, don't mess up my life. Do not, whatever you do not screw up Alex Danvers' personal timeline. Don't mess anything up. Don't put her anywhere she doesn't want to be, or anywhere she isn't supposed to be. Just don't mess her up. Like she said it with the sincerest of voices and faces. Just, don't mess up my timeline, Brady. Whatever you do, you have one job, no interactions, and that means no messing up people's timelines, especially mine. So she was very, very crystal clear on that, so that much is understandable. But then I wonder if, like, maybe this whole alien zoo thing did happen. Maybe that was something she could have won ahead. Oh, like, there were these alien kind of, like these alien collectors who ran a zoo and were jumping from planet to planet trying to collect aliens, and Kara was one of them, so maybe they could have actually planned ahead and actually tried to stop that, but then they couldn't even land properly, so what do they know? But yeah, no, so Naxim talk, but then their interaction with Naxim talk then put them on his radar, and then he moved on from trying to collect Kara and Cal to then trying to collect Brainy and Nia, trying to collect Brainy and Nia. So yeah, and then in the end of part 1, he does capture them. He does capture them both. So now we have to wait until part 2 next week to see how that 2-parter ends. But yeah, part 1s and part 2s. I'm very split on how I feel about part 1 and part 1s and part 2s. On the one hand, I hate those kind of cliffhangers that make you wait for a week and everything, but on the other hand, it's like, I kind of like that. I kind of like that it keeps you hooked on and keeps you wanting more, keeps you wanting to see more. So, it's a very mixed relationship I have with them. Very mixed relationship. So, yeah, so we had the Alien Zoo collectors, and that then tied into further on to Nia, that then tied into her own kind of Back to the Futuring of the timeline. She wanted to speak to her mother, and again, I think that hit me too, like, oh, this is 2009, this is years before her mother ever died, so she has plenty of time, and she even has the opportunity, and I think it reminds me, right, I think, not the same kind of thing, I know, not the same situation, because this was to do with alternate universes, but it reminds me of back in season 2, I believe it was, of the Flash, back in like the Flashpoint time, like where he actually went to Earth 2, and then him and Cisco had to actually, well, Barry at least had to actually maintain the undercover kind of aspect of his own presence there. So then he found out that on Earth 2, his dad and his mother were alive, especially his mother who he lost as a child. His mother was still alive on Earth 2, and he could actually talk to her with ease, and he broke down on the phone talking to her and everything. So then with this one, I think, again, like, that one was an alternate universe, but with this one, it's time travel, so it's actually going back to before someone you love died and actually having the chance to talk to them again, but then she couldn't, like her phone went straight to voicemail. So I think it made me wonder, like, you've gone back in time to when you were, like, a child, pretty much, like a teenager at most, but then, I'm pretty sure she mentioned 12, I'm pretty sure she mentioned, like, oh, she was, like, 10 or 12 at this point, like, this far back in time, so it's unarguable that, she if like her mother does see the caller ID on her phone being like Nia, she'd be like, you know, or maybe it would just be like an unknown number, but even if it didn't show up as a name, it'd be like, you know, why does my daughter have a cell phone all of a sudden and stuff like that. But then so then they maintain that kind of lack of communication and that kind of prevention of kind of any unnecessary or any kind of avoidable damage to the timeline, being like, you know, okay, so you can't talk to your mother, so we won't let you. We'll just keep the phone going to voicemail and everything, and then but then like it's not because she just wants to mess up the timelines, because she actually wants to have some kind of interaction from her mother. She actually needs some guidance and advice from her mother that she never got from her before she died. So she actually needs to be able to learn how to decipher her dreams and how to understand dream language and everything. And then like stuff with her and her sister are very complicated, and they haven't really spoken since the incident. So then again, I'm hoping that means that this season at least we can actually see some reconciliation between her and Maeve. Like I think it needs to be in a way that, you know, like they both kind of come to the acceptance and the kind of like, you know, I think, you know, like Nia especially comes to the kind of acceptance that her mother is gone and that she can't really impart or take in any wisdom from her anymore, and then Maeve's kind of acceptance that, you know, even though she did study for it, she didn't get the powers her sister did, and she deserved them just as much as Maeve did. And then eventually they actually patch things up and talk, and Maeve even teaches her what she knows about her dream language. Like I think in the final season that would be a nice note to end/continue their relationship on, to actually show them actually patching things up and coming to understandings and mutual kind of levels and everything. So yeah, because I think one thing that definitely does happen is that Nia can't really go mentioning her mother and her understanding and her teachings without also acknowledging that Maeve is also like another member of her family that actually has the knowledge. She actually studied harder than Nia did, and she actually has the knowledge of dream language and dream interpretation and stuff. So she is the key. She is the answer. So hopefully, then once they get back to the present, then, you know, I think also, like, you know, like actually, I think maybe talking to Kara and maybe even Alex, and just understanding that despite their tensions from like an early age onwards, in the future they still kind of became, I mean, she sees how protective and how loyal and how close that Kara and Alex are in the present day, so she knows that, you know, despite the tensions that Kara and Alex had in the past towards each other and towards the world around them, they still kind of managed to band together and actually be together and stuff like that. So maybe if in part 2 she actually confides in Kara. I mean, again, she didn't mention it ever so slightly in this one, but maybe in part 2 she actually confides more in Kara and says that they're going through a rough patch. Then maybe she can actually impart some of her own wisdom, and, you know, that could maybe even, because I think it's very unreasonable to kind of believe that the patching things up only, I think, well, not very unreasonable, but I think it would be a good sign to know that, you know, like they actually did, at least in part 2, like once they're actually maturing, once they're actually going off into the world, they actually did start to patch things up from there. But then over time, as things went on, things got better and better. So that kind of thing would help. But also just like, you know, like Kara just kind of imparting her own advice and then taking it in the end too, and actually, you know, being more mutual with Alex as well and stuff. So yeah, hopefully some wisdom from the past can help Nia in the future / present. So yeah, hopefully. So yeah, now they just have to go forward, like finding out. I mean, I can kind of sense a break. I mean, I can kind of sense a mixture of a breakout, but also a rescue mission, like Kara sensing or finding out that Nia and Brainy have been kidnapped and taken hostage by the alien zoo collectors and everything. So I mean, if Alex allows, or if Alex allows it, then maybe a rescue mission could be in the works. But then I think more prominently, like a breakout could definitely be in the works. And then they actually get back to Earth and take down the zoo collectors. I think the guy, originally the guy was meant to be captured 3 days or years later, like 3 somethings later by the DEO. But then their interaction with him made him more kind of interested in them, and he's still at large now. So, you know, so they have to get things back on track there and make sure that he actually does go into DEO custody when he's supposed to, for the proper reasons and everything. So hopefully that gets resolved, and then hopefully we get a cool little prom. I mean, I think Alex said she was dropping off Kara for the prom night. She didn't actually mention going to the prom night herself. So I'm wondering if she has other plans, or if she's actually still just like getting ready for her own kind of exploration or something. But either way, hoping it's a fun ending to the part 2, like a fun little prom night dance thing. But I guess we'll see. But yeah, this was really fun. This was super duper fun, and I can't wait for part 2. So let me know what you guys thought. Let me know what your thoughts are, how you enjoyed this, what you thought of having yet another kind of mid-veil young Alex and Kara flashback episode, and what you think of Kenny being back, and you know what you kind of enjoyed from that, and what you thought of Brainy and Nia in this one. And yeah, I think personally, I think they did a great job handling it, of Brainy and Nia being the only kind of future or present day kind of characters. And it's like the episode is hugely driven by them, but also with their cooperation with young Kara and Alex and Kenny and everything. So and Kenny's kind of massive interest in superheroes. So like he's not really too far into actually helping people. I mean, no, he's not too far into going out and being out in space all the time, but he mostly wants to help people. He mostly wants to help people. Like, he's got a real passion for it after doing what he's doing with Kara, so he's got like a real passion for that. So yeah, I'm hoping if we actually do get another reference in the future, I'm hoping he's actually doing something similar to that and actually being able to chase his dreams and everything. So that should be fun. And seeing where Alex's character goes forward from part 2 as well, I'm really intrigued to see that, to see if she actually does kind of get to explore her own path, or get to explore more of who she is really, and stuff like that. So maybe, all in good time. But yeah, that was Supergirl season 6 episode 5. So thank you guys as always so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next time on Supergirl. Once again, the full-length reaction for this episode will be over on Patreon, so you can go check that over there. And yeah, that is it. So I will see you guys next time.